Hey you! Today we are going to be talking about my journey and experience and healing from my depression. But first, I have to go bear the cold because my dogs have to use the bathroom. Okay, dogs are up and I just wanted to start out here because the cold helps me not think so hard about what I'm doing. As you've seen in previous videos, and I'll link the video that I'm referring to, you've learned a little bit about my story. I struggled with depression and anxiety throughout my life, starting in middle school and maybe even before, I'm not quite sure yet. And it's been a very long and rough journey for me, but now I'm finally at a point where I feel comfortable and I feel okay, and I do feel that I'm no longer in such a dark and twisty space. So today I'm going to talk to you about how I got into that space, into the space that I am today, and even into the space that I stepped into right when I began my recovery from severe depression. Honestly, my recovery from depression started even while I was still very depressed and before I even got to the peak of my depression. A quick note before we start today's video, I am not a therapist, and these tips that I'm sharing about healing from depression come from my personal experience and my work with therapists and my education in health and wellness coaching. I am not a therapist. I cannot diagnose or prescribe, and these tips are just based on my experience and also my years of learning and research. So please remember to work with a therapist if you're feeling depressed. And then also, if you are starting to get suicidal ideations, do contact the suicide hotline. It's very important that you address that quickly. So keep those things in mind as we move on to this video about 3 tips that I have for healing from depression based on my experience. Enjoy. It started with health and healthy thinking. Before I hit the most severe point in my depression, I was running cross country. I was thinking a little bit more about what I was putting into my body as far as food goes. And I was also changing my mindset. I was looking at every day as if it was a gift. But the problem that I had there is that I was shoving down my emotions and I wasn't giving myself permission to actually feel them, which made it a lot worse because I wouldn't ask for support or help. I wouldn't let anyone in because I thought that I had to be this perfect, positive person. And in reality, my recovery started with my health and also the health of my mindset. When I was working out consistently and when I was reading a lot of self-development books, I was feeling better. And a lot of it was from doing those things, but it was also for me suppressing my emotions and suppressing the fact that I was depressed. And in the previous video, I did talk about getting to my lowest point. I talked about the suicidal ideations and even the attempt. And I would say that even had that not happened, had I not gotten to my lowest point, I still would have figured it out and gotten my depression under control. It just would have been a different path. After getting to my lowest point and starting to build myself back up, the next thing that I did was seek support. Whenever I was feeling stressed or overwhelmed, I would either disassociate and completely numb myself to the point of talking myself into not having these feelings, And then I also would go into this craze of, it's fine, I'll do it myself. It's all right. I can do it myself. I'm sad right now, but I'm not going to be sad forever. That was the mindset that was looping within my head. So in finding a therapist that I could work with and that I was comfortable opening up to, and then also just being more comfortable in leaning on my family and friends for support, I was able to build myself a container of support that set me up for success as I went through the recovery process from depression. Next, I'm going back to health again because I had a more positive mindset in the past. I was working out more. My diet was okay, but I was becoming more aware of it. But now, after seeking a support system, I really dove into my health. I started getting rid of anything that was upsetting my stomach or body. So I cut out dairy, and I also started taking more time to evaluate what I'm eating and how it was making me feel. I also started exercising more consistently and then also more mindfully. I was using it to connect to my body and to love my body instead of to get to some external goal of looking a certain way to be accepted by others. So my health was under the way. I was going to therapy. I had support from my family and friends. And then the next thing that came in is I reassessed my mindset and not only focused on the positive, because I always called myself an optimist and I knew that every day was a great day and that every day was a gift and that everything that went wrong had a reason behind it. And yes, those are beautiful thoughts. And don't get me wrong, I still believe a lot of those today, but there's more to that because life isn't all sunshines and rainbows, and that's what I was trying to make it. I was looking at it through these rose-colored glasses, but in reality, we do have hardship. We do have uncomfortable feelings. We do have difficult things that we need to confront in order to heal, in order to be a better person. And so something spoke to me after all of my years of education and then my research and therapy. Something just clicked and I started seeing both sides of life. I've started seeing the beauty and I've started seeing both sides of life, being an optimist and being a realist. And also I realized that even though I thought I was being super optimistic, I only externally. It was only to other people. Within my head, I was mean. I was so mean to myself. I didn't think that I'd be able to achieve anything. And I was so hard on myself for not being healthier, being better, being enough. And it really weighed down on me. And it wasn't until I realized that and was more compassionate with myself that I actually started to heal more from my depression. This played a huge role on the days because I would go days feeling okay, and then I would go days or weeks just dipping super low. And after therapy and support from friends and then taking care of my health, those days became less and less and less when I was feeling those dark and twisties. But when I did start to feel them again, I started working through them instead of shoving them under. I started giving them grace and giving them acceptance or compassion, nurturing. I started making them more comfortable to come out so I can actually analyze them and actually figure out what the root is and how I can give myself what I need in that moment. And finally, don't give up on yourself. It can be really hard to go through depression and to experience depression. But what depression is it's telling you that there's something wrong that needs to be fixed. And so whether that's healing from a past trauma, it has to do with your diet or your movement in life. Maybe it's something genetic or something that you need to see a therapist or a doctor for. Maybe it's something that you need medication for. Whatever it is, it's important to find that root cause. And when it comes to not giving up on yourself, the best way to do this is through becoming your best friend, your advocate, your cheerleader, your supporter, your partner in crime, or your partner in good. It's incredibly important that to not give up on yourself, you have to develop a relationship with yourself that is loving, even when things are hard. Those are 3 things that I did to heal my depression. 1, I created a support system and a container to completely let my emotions out and to get support from others. 2, I prioritized my health, not only in my mind and my body, but also spiritually. 3, I didn't give up on myself. And I did this by building unconditional self-love and building a relationship with that negative voice inside of my head. Thank you for watching today's video. Let me know in the comments below if something really resonated with you, because I love talking about things. So please start some awesome conversations in the comments so we can stay connected. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up to let me know. And if you're interested in hearing about more things, health, wellness, and self-love, do hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all of my new episodes. I really enjoyed making this video for you today, and please let me know if there's something else that you have a question about when it comes to health, wellness, or self-love, or if there's something that you'd really like to see more content on. I'll leave you with this cute video of my dogs in the snow. I just want to know why I'm wearing shorts. Oh my. Oh, buddy.